Welcome to the Mold Matters Podcast. Whether you are looking for help recovering from mold illness or just want to learn more about creating a safe environment for your family, this podcast is the place for you.
Did you know the levels of some hazardous pollutants in indoor air have been found to be up to 70 times greater than in outdoor air? But who's monitoring that for you? Check out mypureproducts.net for the latest in monitoring devices and DIY mold test kits. Take control of your environment with mypureproducts.net.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Mold Matters Podcast. How are you guys? My name is Jeremy. I'm the host alongside Mike.
Hi, Jer.
Hey, how are you?
I am great.
Mike Adams, not the health ranger, but a different Mike
No,
Adams.
a lot of people think that.
But
they
you're
do.
also...
They think I'm almost like incognito, the health ranger.
Yeah, I've had someone say, no, I think he's the health ranger.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I mean, he does help people with his health as he ranges about the earth, teaching people about mold, but he's not the health ranger.
No, I'm the... We've established I'm the fun guy.
yeah, you're the fun guy. So we're glad to be doing another episode today and glad to continue just talking about mold. And we're students of mold and mold remediation and just all kinds of stuff related to mold and health, and so we're always learning and occasionally on this episode or on these episodes we like to share what we learn too. And how much of that's going to come out today, I don't know, but we're kind of thinking today, this is kind of a different podcast, a little bit spontaneous, but we want to just kind of, Mike and I continually have conversations about mold. I mean, almost every day when we're both in town. Very organic, very, interesting conversations. And I just said earlier today, I was like, after you mentioned this as an idea of having a conversation on the podcast,
right.
I was like, if we would have recorded half of the conversations we'd have good...
A lot of episodes already recorded.
Yeah. A lot of episodes, and I think they'd be interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting to us. Otherwise, we wouldn't do them.
Exactly. So
they're interesting to Nez. Nez is always just following us around.
Yeah, listening, just on the edge of her.
Soaking it in. Yeah.
Before we get into talking, though, make sure to smash it, right, Mike?
Yeah, the subscribe button.
Just smash it.
I don't know what that even means, but I'm assuming you listeners do.
Yeah. So smash that, and then let's kind of have a conversation, Mike. I know.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, Jeff.
We haven't planned anything.
No.
This is very organic.
No.
But you have some thoughts.
I do. So I got into a conversation with one of our licensees, and he was talking about there's a bunch of new startup companies saying, hey, we can test for mycotoxins now. Mm-hmm. And even companies going so far as to say it turns out it's not the mold that's making you sick, it's the mycotoxins that are making you sick.
Yeah.
And so I thought we could talk about this.
Hey, let's roll with it.
So this is how I feel about mycotoxins.
Okay. You going to ruffle some feathers here or no?
Yeah, I think I might.
Okay.
Yeah. I've said this before. A lot of our licensees have heard me say this before. I do not believe anybody can show me a home that has zero mold but has mycotoxins. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that they are some kind of weird entity in and of themselves that take on a life of their own.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me at all. I think if you have mycotoxins in a home, you have mold in a home. And one of the examples this person I was talking to used is he said he'd read a website where the company had said, we have studies now that we've conducted that show that oftentimes you have no mold spores in the air, but you have high mycotoxins. Okay. And I said, well, that speaks more to mold spore tests are terrible.
That's what they're using as a spore trap?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mold spore tests are horrible, so you cannot make the assumption that, you don't have any mold anymore, but you got mycotoxins. No, of course you have mycotoxins because you have mold. Even the half-life, in fact, if you look up half-life of mycotoxins, it's hours to days. It's not decades.
Yeah. See, that's a good point because, I walk into houses where I feel like I'm going to die, and then I take a spore trap test, and there's
nothing
there.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me that I know there's mold somewhere in there. You can smell it or feel it or see it.
Yeah.
But that spore trap, I think you're right.
And you go back to that old example that we used to use about, starting a lawnmower. Say the lawnmower is the mold spore. I mean, granted, that's a big spore.
Very big.
It's a big spore, but it cuts grass.
Yeah.
So that's a good analogy. So
Really
anyway, a lawnmower is the spore. The exhaust coming off of the lawnmower is the toxin.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
My point is that if you were to get rid of the lawnmower, the toxin will go away eventually.
Yeah.
It's not going to stay in there forever. Otherwise, think about this. Otherwise, everybody that ever started the lawnmower in their house would have to just gut the house.
Which is a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people are starting mowers in their
Most
house.
of my friends have started their lawnmowers in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So, I've read a lot, and we've talked about this too, just rolling with this topic. They say that the toxins get lodged in dust often.
Yeah.
So, because, I've looked in a lot of the literature and because I'm used to an air or a spore trap.
Right.
So I'm thinking, this is years ago. I was like, well, let's find something to do the same thing for mycotoxins.
Right. Yeah.
Take a test and they do, these really big labs, university labs have some machinery that will test for mycotoxins, but I mean, it is even really toxic houses. We're talking parts per billion.
Yeah. Parts
per billion of mycotoxins they can capture in the air. And so, and then I think a lot of people have gone to, they've discovered a lot of the dust is where, you'll find those mycotoxins if you do swabs or whatever.
But let me also share, a lot of the mold is in the dust.
But that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's mold loves dust. So
right.
I'd be curious to know, are any of these mycotoxin testing companies, are they parsing that out? Are they like, here's a swath of dust with tons of mycotoxins, but no mold?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen.
Yeah, according to what you said in the beginning.
Right.
But I don't think anyone's doing that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think they're either looking for mycotoxins or mold, or some companies that claim to test mycotoxins are just testing for molds that produce mycotoxins.
And then surmising.
And then saying, oh, that's Stachybotrys chartarum.
You've got trichothecenes.
Yeah, and you've got a few other toxins.
Right.
Which that one seems really, well, I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do. They're probably right. There are toxins, but still, job number one in any remediation has got to be get rid of the mold.
Yeah.
And the toxins will. Well, there's two different things with our process. Some doctors even claim that what we do breaks down the metabolites and the protein bonds in a toxin.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. I'm no scientist. I don't think anybody knows for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people don't even know the mechanism for sure of why paracetic acid kills a microbe. They just know it does.
Yeah.
So it's just such a hard thing to try to wrap your brain around. This is the other question I've always thought about. When people submit like blood tests or urine tests, mostly urine tests, to test for mycotoxins.
Yeah.
Okay, are those mycotoxins because they live in a house and the toxins from the mold in the house have entered into their body either through their skin or through their, nose or mouth, or has their body taken in spores? The spores have then colonized in your sinuses and in your gut and are now producing mycotoxins in your body. I don't even think the experts know the answer to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think so. But I just had a conversation with one of our guys out in Australia about how, and we've talked about this before, but the body's could be a really ideal environment for mold.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs oxygen, food source, and water. And we're 80-something% water. Plenty of stuff to chew on.
You're 80% water. I don't believe I'm 80% water.
Yeah, you're 80% Red Bull.
that could be, yeah.
Which has water in it.
It does.
Water's the number one ingredient on there. Isn't it?
Curiously enough, I've got a Red Bull right here. Yes, water is the number one ingredient. Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably 70% water.
Yeah.
70% water. But yeah, I really think if you live in a moldy enough environment, yeah, I mean that's why you really need a really serious, you need some serious binders and you need some serious protocols to get that stuff to just to choose not to live inside of you and to come out, with the binder or whatever else.
Yeah, but I am an absolute firm believer after all these years that if there are mycotoxins in your home, it's because they are being constantly emitted by growing mold in the home.
Mm.
I don't think they just are sticking around long after the mold is gone. That makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah. So yeah. And I guess something we've talked about lately too with mycotoxins is, they're all, we tend to lump mold even into, mold is one category. Mycotoxins are all one category, but in some ways, I think we're starting to learn there might be some differences between even, from a perspective of remediation, some molds may react differently.
Yeah.
Some mycotoxins as well.
Right. Some mycotoxins maybe fall apart immediately.
Yeah.
After treatment. Some may stick around a little bit.
Yeah. And even, some definitely affect you differently. I mean, it's funny, the more houses I go into, the one I was in yesterday I was telling you about, that I was like, this house is not good.
Yeah.
And their parents' house was not good. After being in there for an hour and I was wearing a mask, I started feeling which I haven't felt much, and this might be TMI, but I started feeling some weirdness in my stomach, and my bowels started making some gurgling sounds, kind of nothing ever happened, but I could tell it wasn't natural. It just felt like, oh, and then, within a half hour of leaving the home, it went away and there was nothing. Yeah. But I don't typically have that one. I mean, that was kind of a new one for me, and I just thought
I get heart palpitations.
I do too.
Yeah. It's crazy.
My least favorite one because it makes me feel
like you're going to die.
Like if I don't get out of this soon, I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liken it to a good cheeseburger. I've given you this theory before, haven't I?
Yeah, I know. If I know where you're going.
Okay, so
the benefits of cheeseburgers, right?
Benefits of cheeseburgers. Well, let's go benefits of exercise, right? Benefits of exercise.
Now I know where you're going.
Yeah.
But they don't know, so tell us.
And Nez doesn't know this. Benefits of exercise is what? You're going to increase your heart rate. You're going to strengthen your heart. You got to carry more oxygen to your muscles, yada, 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 right? When you consume a cheeseburger, right, your heart has to work harder to process all that grease and all that yuck. Somebody explain to me the difference between eating a cheeseburger and a good half-hour workout.
I don't see any.
Nez just rolled her eyes at me. Makes your heart work harder. It's just a darn good workout.
I think everyone can see what you're saying here.
Yeah. So I'm taking it a step farther. Maybe we all should go take a snort of a good moldy home every couple of days and make our heart work harder.
Well, you know what? We just had our baby a few months ago.
Yeah.
And we went to our local, more natural-minded medicine person. And I wasn't there, but my wife told me that he told her, don't be scared to, don't protect your child from every single, thing. Don't play in the dirt. I don't want you to get something from the dirt. Don't.
Yeah. Hand sanitizer every 2 minutes.
Hand sanitizer, and don't let her suck on her hand ever.
Yeah.
Because she can get germs. And he talked a lot about building up the microbiome within your own system. And I mean, that's how I grew up. I mean,
we didn't care.
Yeah. Back in, for me, it was the 80s, and I was the fourth of 5 kids, and your parents just physically can't monitor you. And so I was always into dirt and stuff that wasn't, but I didn't get sick much growing up. I feel like I have a fairly strong immune system. And so I think I don't know if it's good to submit ourselves to.
No, we say that in jest.
I know you're joking.
Yeah.
But I think there's some truth to that concept. And so
Nez is very active, works out, plays on volleyball teams. Nez has given me the that look like. No, Mike, you're completely wrong on this.
Well, you eat a cheeseburger a day, and let's see how fit you are after that.
No, I don't. I eat pretty well. I stay away from cashews. I drink plenty of Red Bull.
Yeah.
I stay away from. You've heard the Nate Bargatze thing about he was going to go on a diet, and they said, "Be careful with fruit because fruit has a lot of sugar in it."
Yeah,
he's like, "You show me your fat fruit friend somewhere.
Yeah,
you've been up all night eating bananas, haven't you?"
That's true. Yeah, that's why you avoid fruit.
Yeah, it's got a lot of sugar in fruit. Yeah,
yeah, you don't want to eat too much fruit.
Yeah. So,
hey,
let's do our new segment.
Okay, take it away.
It's called our new segment. We don't have any music to go with it, but new segment is, what do you hate? What do you love in the mold industry?
Can we, this is going to show my true colors, but
yeah.
I'm a softie.
You don't like that hate word.
No,
I knew you were not going to like the hate word.
I don't like the word
hate. Strong. Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
Because I don't, some of these, I don't hate all those things.
Okay, let's think of a new word.
Dislike.
Despise. That's actually stronger than hate. What do you, dislike? What do you dislike? What do you like?
How did you know I was going to not, how did you know I was going to dislike that word?
I know, I just know you.
Yeah, I thought about the word hate, and I was like, I just don't know if I can go that far.
No, I'm with you.
I don't like them, but I don't.
Yeah. Although you do hate mold.
I don't even know if I would say that.
Really? Okay. I hate mold, and I hate snakes.
The whole, if we need mold.
I know. That's true. That's true.
I should say I don't like mold. Or
I hate mold in homes.
I hate mold in homes.
There you go.
I could go there.
Yeah.
I hate really toxic or lots of mold in the home.
Yeah. I'm with you there.
Because I'm actually wondering if even these low levels of mold that we breathe outside are somehow helping the microbiome, don't you think? I mean,
probably.
Is it possible?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. There's so much we don't know about mold that I don't. That's maybe why I'm hesitating too.
Nobody knows this stuff.
Maybe mold.
This is what I do know for sure is that traditional remediation is not the answer.
Yeah.
That much I know for sure.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's all, it's a little bit of, we're all learning every day.
I do wonder though if we could eliminate mold from the earth, it'd be interesting to see just the next year what would happen. I wonder if there'd be some serious consequences that we. Yeah,
because you got to figure, there's a balance.
Yeah.
With everything.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, take it away.
Yeah.
What
I hate. No, dislike. What I dislike. So every once in a while, I'll get somebody will send me something like a Facebook article, or is that an article on Facebook? I don't do social
post
media.
Or blog. Like a blog or a post.
And it will be somebody has posted a picture. That's my wife calling right now.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get it, or probably not, huh?
She won't like it.
No, she won't like it. Anyway, somebody will post something that'll be a picture of like some mold in a bathroom, and the poor person posting it is reaching out for help, saying, "Is this something I need to be worried about?" Right?
Yeah.
Invariably, somebody will chime in, somebody who I'm sure has no clue what they're talking about, and say, "Nah, it doesn't look like anything I'd worry about." Or I even saw one the other day that says, "Yeah, that's not mold, that's mildew." And I'm just like, what are you even talking about,
Yeah.
And so I hate it when people make comments as if they are experts on mold.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to tell people, "Nah, don't worry about that,"
Well, and part of, to me, the EPA, anyways, how they talk about 10 feet or less.
Yeah. Right.
I think in people's minds too, quantity plays a role. Like, okay, I've got this little patch. Since it's little, it's nothing to worry about. It's just a little patch. Whereas size of visible mold is not a good indicator.
No, that's like saying I just had this little teeny tumor.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be really bad.
Well, that house I was out yesterday.
Yeah.
That guy, he actually said there was this really toxic house I was in where I had the stomach stuff. He said it started out, he just saw one little black dot in the corner of his room. And then he actually...
That's a very aware homeowner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I am very clean and I'm meticulous with my cleaning. And he noticed that dot in the corner.
Yeah.
He's like, that's weird. And then he uncovered 2 other corners and found it was a little bigger in those 2 other corners. But really, like, quantity, not a ton of mold.
Right. No.
We even did I was there for hours yesterday, it seemed like. And we didn't see anything major going on, but that house did not feel right.
Yeah, is all that little teeny bit is just it's just indicative of a potential huge problem.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I mean, but I could see what you're saying. Like, if someone posted a picture of that dot and was like, hey, is this any,
yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, just wipe that off.
You're fine.
Meanwhile, that house is not right.
And
so,
from doing this, you and I have talked about this often. People get life-changing illness from mold.
yeah, absolutely.
It's horrendous. It's not something to be taken lightly, and it's certainly not something to that. And also, people will say, "No, that's certainly not black mold." Off of a picture they've seen. How do you know that? You know?
Yeah, yeah,
it's true. Just incredible. So
yeah, so that's your dislike.
That's
what's
my
your
dislike.
What's your like?
My like is people who really study the industry and understand what's going on, and are open-minded. So I put professionals in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, the guys with Normie.
Yeah.
They are a pretty large organization that traditionally has been in line with traditional remediation, and they are open-minded enough to say, you know what, pure maintenance might be onto something here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like guys that really study the industry and don't just go to the internet and say, well, the internet says you can clean things up with bleach or,
It's like we mentioned earlier, this is definitely true of mold and mycotoxins, like we talked about earlier. The more you know about them and study into dive into literature, the more you realize
the more you don't know. Yeah.
The more you don't know, and the more you realize most people don't know.
No, even the experts are just they're kind of taking a stab in the dark.
Yeah, they have some data and they throw out a hypothesis and kind of roll with it. But yeah, which you maybe comes to your point about the like. You really have to be. I feel like you have to be really open-minded in mold.
Yeah.
In your mold.
In fact, I went to a customer's home a couple of days ago. She's really sick, and she said she bought this. It was like a townhouse. She bought the townhouse about 8 years ago, I think she told me. She said, when I bought it, you could tell that the original homeowners had not taken very good care of the place. There's a few different places where there were leaks. When she bought it, she hired a remediation company. So I think she got a good deal on the home. Mm-hmm. But she hired a remediation company to come in, and she said, and they fixed the mold, which I appreciate. And I said, well, let's take a look at where they worked on it. I said, I don't want to disparage anybody, but I just want to see what they did. Well, all they'd done is made a flood cut and painted over everything with
kills.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, that is not remediation. She's like, well, is that all they've done? I said, yeah, that's all they've done. It's painted over it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I was going to say I hate that, but I dislike that.
Yeah. You can use that word if you want.
Can I?
Well, just make sure it's honest. If you really do, or if just a strong dislike,
I do hate. Jerry, you know this. I hate snakes.
Yeah. So see, I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
Because I was looking at your list, and I don't want to give away, but I don't hate humidifiers on the HVAC. I don't hate it.
I think I do.
I don't think it's a good idea, though.
Yeah, I think I hate them.
Okay, when I do the list,
I
might adjust the word, but it's fine.
Okay, we'll cover that next time.
Yeah, we'll wrap that up. And this, I guess, as it was very obvious, this was kind of an organic, just conversation. That's pretty true to conversations we have here at the office on a regular basis. So
it's. I told you before. It's like a Seinfeld episode. It's a show about nothing.
I haven't.
And Jeremy says, "No, Mike, we got to have something." No. Let's do nothing.
I like it. Oh man. All right. Well, let's wrap it up there, and until next time, we'll come back with another podcast in the near future. But thanks for listening and tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys later.
And may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Star Trek, right?
I think I don't even know. Yeah.
Star Wars. Just
Okay.
kidding.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the Mold Matters podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more in-depth information on mold illness and recovery.